In Electra, we have found a partner that will not only inject money into the economy, but who wants to be a part of the community of Grand Bahama Island. We have found a socially responsible partner who will work with the Grand Bahamian people in the island of Grand Bahama. They will work with the Ministry for Grand Bahama and the government to provide jobs, help create entrepreneurs, and assist with the long-term vision of the Tourism Development Corporation and the Ministry of Tourism. We are very, very proud of what has been accomplished so far. And there's much more to come for Grand Bahama and the Bahamas under this New Day administration. We promised the people of Grand Bahama that we will bring the grand life back to Grand Bahama. And that is what we will do. May God bless the long.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We are back. Of course, this is part two. Part one was interfered with by whoever. We don't even have time to focus on who's doing these things now. We just simply want to get things done. All right. We are so we are so sick of all of the attacks. We are sick about the fact that they are so afraid that they would try to shut any dissenting voice off from social media and from the media. But I just want everyone to understand that nothing is going to stop this. Nothing is going to stop what has already begun. They are terribly afraid. And of course, we understand why. They are terribly afraid. They are terrified. And they have good reason to be. And we're not going anywhere. And we're going to continue to stand up for the Bahamian people and be the real voice of the Bahamian people in this day and time. And so we just want to thank all of you for tuning in. As I was saying before, I find it disturbing, extremely disturbing. I don't know if I'm alone on this, but we keep seeming to accept this. I find it extremely disturbing that we would be in a hurricane belt. We experience hurricanes almost every year when we have the threat of them every year. Every single administration since the Pillen era has been met with major hurricanes. Every single administration has been met with major hurricanes that they've had to deal with. Yet, it is the one thing that we have no contingency plan for, and we do not have not one shelter built. They build basketball courts and fail to build hurricane shelters. They build sports stadiums and fail to build hurricane shelters. And then they tell you to go and pile up in a church or a school. A church or a school is not a hurricane shelter. It is not. A church or school is a church or school. You're piling us up in a school which also floods, which has the same risk, and some of these schools are extremely old and we don't know the state of these buildings because they only do cosmetic repairs in them every year. All that is a place for more of us to be clumped up together to die at one time. We need a proper building, a proper structure built to code. There are codes that we've already released to you on a previous live that hurricane shelter should be built to, and we're going to show you how this should be done. We are living with visionless leaders who only do things that them and their party cronies and their financial backers can make money from. That's all they're interested in. If they can't make money from hurricane shelters, they're not going to do it because they don't care. Now, they can make money from the contracts, but they don't care. They would prefer for you to die. It is shocking that we have not taken a hill on every single major island. and build a hurricane shelter on a hill. Or where there is no hill readily available, build a hurricane shelter that is so high, several stories high, so that it wouldn't be affected by surges. Where the living area starts at the third floor, at least. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I don't know how much more of this we can take as a people. 50 years and not one shelter. When you get in here, you know what to do. Please share. Please share. We got to get this message out. You have a duty to assist us. Please share. Let's get this message out. Let's make sure we get the word out. Tag people in here, share, etc., etc. Okay. And so I'm going to get right to it today because we got some things to prepare for. We got to all prepare for this hurricane that is coming. We want to make sure that all of you are prepared and that all of us are prepared. All right. So let's just make sure that we are prepared. You know what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, as you get in here. Stars. They've upgraded my Facebook account. Maybe the government doesn't know about this because they wouldn't let them do this. But they've upgraded my Facebook account so you can now share stars with us, which means you donate to us. For every star you share, we get 1 cent. So please share your stars. We've already received more than 7,000 stars. I think it's 7,700 stars that we've received. And that means we got about $77 so far. So please go ahead and share your stars. Show us your love. Show us your support so that we can get this done. Okay, Anishka Rose, thank you for your stars. Anishka has already sent her stars in, and she is a top fan. I can see her badge. Thank you so much, Anishka Rule. We appreciate you 100%. All right. So someone says they're blocking us from sharing. Listen, we are in the middle of a war, Bahamas. I want you to understand that the status quo is terribly afraid of the new Bahamas. They are afraid from the people of this country benefiting from their natural resources. They feel that you won't be dependent on them anymore. That's how they feel. They don't want you to come and compete with their businesses and compete with their old businesses. They want you to be slaves to them. And so this movement is a threat. They don't see us as a political threat. They see us as an economic threat. They see us as a threat to their way of being, to their being in control, to them being able to stand on you and have their feet on your necks. But how many of you know that all we got to do is get up? All we got to do is stand up, get off our knees and rise up. Get off your knees. Stand up. Stop bowing to these heathen. Stand up to them and let them know that the new Bahamas is here and the new Bahamas is coming and they can interfere all they want. But the new Bahamas is here, whether they like it or not. There's nothing that they can do. All right? So make sure I can see when you give your stars, because I'm looking in the software, and so I won't be able to see. So make sure you give your stars. Make sure you give your likes and your shares, etc. So this girl sent 50 stars. Thank you so much. We appreciate you in this girl. We appreciate you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to show you a couple of videos from a blast from the past, so you can remember the conversations about hurricanes. Watch this.
After the conduct of the government is affecting the lives of thousands of men, women, and children, I'm compelled to say something by way of what I deem to be constructive criticism. We read in the good book these words. I tell you, if they remain silent, the very stones will cry out. And so I believe that I have every right to speak out on behalf of the Haitian people over the manner in which the government has prosecuted the handling of Hurricane Dorian. Indeed, the response of the government has taken on the semblance of the characteristics of Hurricane Dorian. Its response has been slow. Its response was erratic, rudderless, and its response has been disastrous. Mr. Speaker, it is well known that there are three distinct phases in the approach to dealing with such disasters. There is the pre-hurricane preparedness, There is communication during the hurricane, and of course, post-hurricane mitigation by way of recovery and restoration. On all three counts, the government failed miserably. And here's what I think. With respect to pre-hurricane preparedness, it was well known by Wednesday, the 28th of August, that Hurricane Dorian, then a Category 4 hurricane, will impact areas of the Bahamas. It was widely reported by international meteorologists and by our own Department of Meteorology that its projected path, having traveled north of Puerto Rico, it was on a path that would most definitely impact the northern Bahamas. Hurricane watch and warning were issued.
Welcome to our news. I'm Dana Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight. The Christie administration dropped the ball with its response to Hurricane Matthew, according to opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis, who at a press conference today criticized the government on many fronts relating to the Category 4 storm.
I was not impressed. I thought the government had dropped the ball in dealing with the storm.
Minnis charged, although the government knew a storm was coming, it did not take adequate precautionary measures.
How can you, afterward, be asking for trucks, volunteers, etc.? All of that should have been done in advance. You knew the storm was coming, you knew the strength of the storm, you knew the potential damage, you knew what was going to happen to the south.
And with police reporting hundreds of people had to be evacuated from their homes in the midst of the storm, Minnis accused the government of not doing enough to ensure evacuations. He echoed the Prime Minister's comment that mandatory evacuations is something his government would consider.
But it's essential to move them out of the danger zone and place them in safety. The government was not aggressive enough to deal with that.
Members, the member from Mount Moriah has the floor. You don't be here for another 3 hours on this.
After having overseen the most disastrous government in the history of this region, now you want us to stand here to believe that all of a sudden overnight that you've changed? Shame on you, Exuma. Shame on you. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to waste time. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly apologize for having to force you to live through another second of listening to anyone from that previous FNM administration. But I wanted you to get the point that these two administrations go back and forth, accusing each other, throwing rocks at each other, and none do any better. But I don't blame them, I blame you. I don't blame them, I blame us. We see the failure over and over, and then we question the qualifications of anyone who loves this country and wants to come and try to make a difference. Minnis Lambase Christie. Who had Lambase Ingram? Who had Lambase Christie? Brave Davis Lambase Minnis. And said that hurricane preparedness, he wasn't prepared. He knew the hurricane was coming. There was no hurricane preparedness. They didn't have anything planned, no nothing, no shelter, no nothing, etc. Now Brave Davis is in office, and a hurricane is here, which we knew that one was coming, even though it came kind of late. And while you are about to face a hurricane in Abaco and Grand Bahama again, a lighter one, and Nassau and others are going to feel the experience. While you are there, Brave sent his best wishes. Literally, he sent his best wishes from Egypt while they're there having the best of times. While they're there enjoying themselves. You are about to face a storm again. the psychological impact alone is causing damage to many people. They are having fun on your dime. They are having the time of their lives, spending all of your money, while you are getting the benefits. I looked at his statement that he sent. I, I, I looked at his statement. The statement was entertaining to say the least. His statement ended by saying, "You are all in my hearts and prayers." While I'm over here in Egypt enjoying myself, you're all in my hearts and prayers. He says, "We will get through this safely together." He says, "We will get through this safely together." Brave, you're not here. How are we going to get through this together? But you're going to be on Zoom, on video call while we're going through the storm? No, you're going to be partying and eating caviar and loving yourself in Egypt. While we weather the storm without a leader. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much more this country can take, but it's time for us to wake up. It's time. While Brave is over in Egypt partying, this is Cat Island. They're preparing Cat Island for any effects of the storm. This is the Cat Island terminal. Yeah, this is the terminal. This is the Cat Island Airport terminal. That right there. That's it. That's the terminal. The Cat Island Airport terminal. They're trying to prepare it for the hurricane. How do you prepare it? Taking down the tent with the people who sitting outside. That's it, and that's all. And so we had presented before the elections because one of the first things we were going to do, we were ready, we'd done all the plans, all the surveying, all the quantity surveying, etc. We had put everything together to start building hurricane shelters on each major island and on hubs in the southern islands. Right away, it was a priority because the lives of our people are a priority. And so we were building hurricane shelters and we had already presented the plans. This is the hurricane shelter here. This is the outside. We were already building hurricane shelter. This was the land plan. You can see the outside of it. We had prepared different areas, even areas for people who were people who had contagious diseases. We have areas where you can hold prisoners, people who are in police stations, who can't be released, who are not in the Fox Hill prison, etc., but prisoners who need to be held. We had places for that. People who were in seriously ill conditions that may have to be evacuated from the hospital, which is close to the water. We had an area where they can be treated. And we had this as a multi-use facility so that when hurricane is not here, it could be used for other things. But we had it set up with different areas. This is the external part of it and internal part of it. We had different areas where persons could actually live and stay. And there were joint rooms and then there were single private rooms that you had. So we had presented all of these plans to the Bahamian people. And we hope that one day soon the Bahamian people, I keep going to that. One day soon the Bahamian people will wake up and see it is important that there's certain things that we do. All right. And this is one of them. And so we have some more pictures we want you to see with these hurricane shelters, but I'll skip through that for now for the sake of time. But we have every room, every floor already planned out, how the pets will be kept separate, and there's a walkway to get to them so you don't have to go outside. There's also a place for your cars so your cars can be kept safe, a building for your cars. so that when you go to the hurricane shelter, debris, etc., doesn't destroy your cars. So we thought of all of this stuff. We've already drawn it out, planned it, and we're ready to go. We're ready for the new Bahamas, man. Every election, these fellas come in and they just start partying and spending money and balling and cursing each other out and doing nothing but giving us crumbs. I've had enough of that, man. Enough. Enough. So to talk about something else real quick. I'm going to have to pivot right there. Enough of that. Also, I wanted to mention to you that you would remember from the video that we played earlier, you would remember that they had this big announcement that the hotel had been sold. They had a big party and spent all kinds of money, big celebration, spent all of our money saying that the hotel was sold. And I told everybody that the hotel is not sold. I told the whole Bahamas, stop listening to this PLP government. The hotel is not sold. I had a whole live and I broke it down to you. I could even produce all of the old documents from the sale of the hotel. I even showed you documents that showed that Hubert Alexander Minnis was a partner in that hotel. Yep, Hubert Alexander Minnis was a partner in that hotel, and I showed his signature as a shareholder or whatever he was in the hotel, and I showed that he did the company a favor by trying to sell. He returned the favor to the company by trying to sell it. Pay attention and wake up. We're showing you some things. The hotel was not sold. The fact of the matter is, this is the most alleged sold hotel or property in the history of the world. It's starting to feel like every 6 months they're selling this hotel. The Wynn Group was buying the hotel, then they wasn't buying the hotel. Minnis bragged they bought the hotel. Royal Caribbean bought the hotel, and then they found out they didn't really buy the hotel. They were trying to buy it on credit. I actually showed the documents. I showed the proof that they were trying to buy the hotel on credit. That they were going to put up a certain amount of money and the rest was on credit. They didn't have the money to buy the hotel. And I've said to many of you that I was involved in another group that was trying to buy the hotel that had the money up front. This next group, I told you, they didn't have the money for it. I told you. They had to go get the financing. I said it. They don't have the financing. So this takes us to the next point, that they always tell Bahamians, oh, we can't invest because we don't have money to invest. We have to get a foreign investor to invest. Well, it appears that every foreign investor that comes to invest doesn't have the money. Do you see a trend yet? Are you ready to change your thinking yet? The foreign investors come and they don't have money. So, of course, they didn't have money. 5 of our banks gave him the money. Our banks, your money and my money out of the bank, built that hotel. So how is he a foreign investor? Sakis Ismail did not have the money. Scotiabank gave him $250 million this year to buy that hotel. They gave it to him, our money. And then he came back to them and said, listen, I'm not paying you all back. You all need to take some shares or something, but I'm not paying you all back. That's how cold they are. You try that. And Ingram and Christie went around trying to find the money from Ingram, got China to give this man billions of dollars. This non-Bahamian. I'm not saying he isn't a good fella. He treated his staff very good. I got some good reports about him. So I have no problem with him as a person or personally. I don't have a problem with him because he's a foreigner, but I have a problem with the fact that our prime ministers, who should be working in our best interest, couldn't do this for a group of Bahamians or a Bahamian with a dream. We have to change our thinking. We need a prime minister who would have said, listen, man, we have this hotel that they want to sell in Cable Beach, and we need a group of Bahamians to come together. And we're going to go out there and try to find the money for you. We're going to jump on a plane, go to China or wherever we have to go, to the Middle East, and we're going to get the money for your dream. All we want is you to let other Bahamians buy into this dream. Let them be able to buy shares in this so that all Bahamians who want an opportunity can now buy into this. When are we going to have a prime minister that looks out for us? When is that going to happen? When are we going to have a Bahamas that's for Bahamians? That's all I want. All I want is a Bahamas for Bahamians, where Bahamians will be put first, where everything will be about us. Is that too much to ask? Seriously, man, someone tell me. Is that too much to ask? I'm watching these videos over and over on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube, all over the place. I'm watching these videos where they're showing the benefits you get from being a citizen of the United Arab Emirates or Dubai or Qatar or Kuwait or Norway, etc. I just finished watching a video. I don't want to play it, man, because the more you play these things, the more you get depressed as a Bahamian, and you have to ask yourself why. Why not us? From they are born, your birth is free. It's free. And they put money away just for you. So that when you become 18, you get in Dubai, you get $100,000. In Bahrain, you get $300,000 when you become 18. Just for being a citizen. You get free education, free college. When you get married, you get $20,000. You're also entitled to a piece of land, your own land. And they will give you the money to build a house on that land. Free money to build a house on that land. Jesus. There's no personal taxes. None. And when you die, they bury you. There's a monthly stipend that you get also. Money. Your health care is free. Electricity, free. So many other things, free. Because you're a citizen of a country that has natural resources. Like us. Someone told me that they were talking to some fellas at work the other day. They're on a family island. And they were like, oh, no, we can't get $100,000. Maybe if he had said $10,000, we could believe him. But we can't believe that we could get $100,000. That's the level of thinking. They have beat us down so much to think we don't deserve nothing. We're like Cinderella. They made us think we don't deserve nothing. All the while we are royalty. They've beat us down mentally so that we think that we are nobody. So that we could have our politicians out there partying and we're proud. Oh, look at my prime minister. While everyone else is benefiting from what is ours. Everyone. Look at
I
Tyler.
have a island in the Bahamas that I bought for my 40th birthday, and I have
Tyler says he bought an island in the Bahamas for his 40th birthday. A whole island. I want you to check and see how much he paid for that. I guarantee you that you paid more for your property than he paid for a property of the same size. You calculate it. They're giving this away to the foreigners. I did the math last time for you to show you. There are foreigners coming here just taking land. There are the unoccupied properties all over New Providence and on Family Islands. There's waterfront property on West Bay Street that foreigners are just coming and taking right now. While y'all don't even know this, they're just taking it, owned by Bahamians with papers, and the foreigners are coming, and they would just possess the house, start renovating. And some of these renovations that you see right now happening on West Bay Street, that you see some white faces around there and Bahamians working for them, the foreigner has no papers. They just taking it. That sounds strange, hey? This is happening right now in this Bahamas. In fact, Perry Christie, just the other day, you was touring one of those houses on the water in Nassau, saying you want it. The story is that the people who owned it are dead. And so persons who want to take it are just going to go and make up some story and say they were working the property for 12 years and just take it. And because they have a lighter skin hue, people are just going to believe them and no one's going to challenge them. But these are properties owned by Bahamians. I said these words to start something. Our land is being not only taken by the illegal immigrants, it's being taken by the legal immigrants. And it's time to take back what belongs to us. It's time to take it back. Bahamians, we have to stand up. Perry Christie, the greenhouse you went to on West Bay Street, and you tell them you want that one, I'm warning you. You don't think you have enough? Leave these families alone, man. Leave the Bahamians need a break, man. Y'all in rape and rob us for 50 plus years. Bahamians need a break, man. Y'all please stop. Grandmothers, great-grandmothers, mothers, do not hide your properties from your children so that when you die, they don't know what you have. Communicate all of your information with your children. You have to have some children or family members you trust. Because the politicians will take it. The foreigners will take it. They will make deals to take it. The politician will make a deal, seeing that house there and you ain't there and you ain't checking and no one from the family checking. They're going to make a deal with the foreigner and say, listen, we're going to make up on conveyance and we're going to sell it to you. And you'll be a bona fide purchaser. You purchase, you know what's going on. We can sell that to you and that's gone. That's yours. And this family ain't checking, so they ain't coming back looking for that. So when they come back, they can meet you there. And they ain't got no money for court because they broke. This is happening in this country right now. All of this country land is being taken from Bahamians. While Chester and them is giving it away. And people are celebrating that. Perry, the house you've been to, don't come back. You hear me? Don't come back. You need to go sit down and try to make amends with the father who you about to head to in a minute. Don't come back. It's time for Bahamians to benefit in this country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really love my country. And I could live anywhere in the world right now. But I choose to be here. I choose to be here, and I choose to be Bahamian. There's no other country that I love. And some of my people have been brainwashed and chipped to accept the situation that they're in. Just like many of us. We're in bad situations and we just choose to be comfortable. We don't think that we deserve any better. But I'm telling you that we are kings and queens, and there's nothing worse than a prince who doesn't know that he's a prince. It's time for the princes and princesses of this great nation to stand up, to rise up, to take back what is yours. It hurt me when that gentleman said he was talking to a couple of his co-workers and they said, man, if he said $100,000, so if he said $10,000, not $100,000, we could accept that. We can't get $100,000 when the evidence is so clear. There are just about 200,000 Bahamian adults. You start receiving what is yours at 21. So that's about 150,000 persons. There are countries with millions of people that get all these benefits that we're talking about. And all you got to do to get this is decide that you deserve this and to stop supporting the PLP and FNM because they don't want you to have anything. How is it that the Minister of Works and the Prime Minister can go in the House of Assembly and say with their mouths that the carbon credits is worth $33 trillion? With their mouths. I couldn't even say that because people will say, something is wrong with this young man. So I knew it, but I couldn't say it. And there's a lot more that I know, but I can't say because people don't think they deserve anything. How is it that they can go in the House of Assembly and say that that is what it's worth? And you don't do the math and calculate to see there's only 150,000 of us and we can share that? And all of us can be straight? How? How, Bahamas? Bahamas, talk to your family and friends. Don't be weary in your good doing. Talk to them. Talk sense to them. You got to learn this information so you can disseminate this information to them. You have to pay attention. We go live two days a week, and we've been doing this now for years. And we've not relented. We've not given up. We're here to take your questions. And so I'm going to open the phone lines right now. We're not going long tonight because of what the night is. But I'm going to open the phone line to questions. Maybe your family member had a question, something they don't understand. Right? At one point, the PLP was spreading that, the Queen owns all the Crown land, so you can't get it. The Queen owns the natural resources. They keep spreading misinformation so that you think that you can't get it, and you won't even try for it. They keep spreading misinformation, gossip, and this is how they fight. I'm going to open the phone lines now. I'm going to open the phone lines. It's 804-4264. What do you think about the fact that Brave is... We have seen so many leaders that have canceled trip when there was a serious matter happening. School shootings, they canceled trip. They canceled their trips and came back home to deal with serious matters, serious situations. There's a hurricane coming, and Brave said, I give you all best wishes. But y'all on your own, but we can face this together. That's what the Prime Minister said. We can face this together. The number is 804-4264. You can call in. I'm going to take questions. I'm always going to make myself available twice a week, once a week, however we do it, so that if there are questions that someone may have asked you, some co-worker or someone that may have asked you a question, or you may be with some family and friends now, they have a question, something you don't understand about the new Bahamas, about the new way of thinking, and you want to get an answer to that question. I'm always making myself available. I'm not running and hiding like these politicians. I am here. Whatever question you have about the new Bahamas and the new way of doing things, we're here and we're available. 804-4264. 804-4264. And while I'm waiting for you to call in, we are still being invaded. And we're making plans right now to go in the Mollis, a shanty town, and we're going to do a clarion call for persons to come out as we're going there to execute. And so we got to take this country. We got to take this country back. The legal foreigners and the illegal foreigners are taking what is ours. And we got to stop them. We got to stop them. And so that's the next fight. We're going to fight the illegal foreigners and we're going to fight the legal foreigners. Yeah, the ones with the big money. Because the fact of the matter is the legal ones have money now too. They've been living without having to pay rent, electricity, or any of the bills that you've had. And they've had a head start. They haven't had to pay a mortgage, nothing. They just got free land. Imagine if you could listen. Let me make this make sense to you. The things that the COI is saying that Bahamians could have, that's what the foreigners get. Let me break this down for you. When the legal immigrant comes here, he get free land. Sometimes they pay a little small amount of rent to Bahamian Haitians, mostly Bahamian Haitians, because they like to make the excuse that, oh, Bahamians rent to them. No, that's a Bahamian Haitian, a Bahamian of Haitian descent, I should say. And I'm saying that because there's no such thing as a Bahamian Haitian. But I'm saying that you could understand the trick they're playing on you. They'll always say, oh, Bahamians need to stop renting. That's not Bahamians. That's when they come here and have children, and the children grow up, and the children got the crown land, and now the children letting the other Asians come in, and the children are getting work permits, applying for work permits for others, and getting their people straight. That's what that is. Stop getting tricked with their lies. I'm sorry, some people don't realize the urgency of this. You don't realize that your whole country is being sucked right from under you. That they're taking this country away from you, legal and illegal. And we're going to just sit down, tell it's too late, say, oh, well, it's too late. You should have done something, but you ain't doing nothing. What you can do now? You're going to die if you don't do something. You're going to leave your children here to die. I was going to explain something, but I'm going to leave that for another time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand up. Let's stand up. Let's stand up and fight because no help is coming. We're on our own with this. You can see the actions of Brave Davis and the PLP. You saw the actions of the F&M working with their financer, Fred Smith, while pretending that they were going to do something, but they had a backdoor deal to cause them to do an injunction that they would not appeal. We got to stand up, man. We got to stand up. People sometimes call and they say, well, Lincoln, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to match out, you got to do this, and you got to do the next thing. It's not what I do that's going to transform this country. It's what you do. You have to take it upon yourself to spread the message. You have to do something different. Let's go to phone lines. Good afternoon, you're live. I'm alive.
Yes, man. I just hear you say this thing just now about how the hurricane, promising a hurricane watch right now, and the prime minister's party, and I seen a lot of that party and stuff going on. I could send you some of those pictures too.
Wow.
But also we have gentlemen here in Freeport bringing a plane load on American Airlines here yesterday morning, knowing that a hurricane is on the way, and we don't even have a place. If something serious is happening here, we don't have no place even for them.
Wow.
If you know a hurricane is coming here, sometimes you have to disregard that plane and say, hey, listen here, we're in a hurricane watch right now. We'll do it for after the hurricane or whatsoever. But they landed a plane here yesterday loaded with Americans from North Carolina.
Wow, that is true.
This is serious, man.
Yeah.
The prime minister was over there partying, having fun. Which prime minister should? That prime minister is supposed to be here in the Bahamas and going through the same thing we going through.
Yep.
Change is coming. The change is here. You know, the change ain't coming. Change is already here.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, man. You have a good night. I want to talk to you all.
All right. Thank you. You know, someone made a comment earlier where they said, you know, if we would learn to respect the prime minister, then people will take us seriously. I'm going to answer them in a second. Let me answer this call. Good afternoon. You're live.
Yes, sir. I just want to call that right. And I just want to say, and this is going to come across kind of sharp and harsh, but when I look at these black politicians in this country, in the FNM and DLP, and I call them because they're the only ones who've been governing this country for so long, it's like they hate to see us black behemoths, who's the majority, get anything. And it makes me wonder, right? I said to someone the other day, it's like we have a black glove over a white hand type of governance in this country. Because when you look at the colonial powers that set up these colonies in this Western Hemisphere and these islands, our ancestors that were black and brown-skinned people, they made wealth and tremendous amount of wealth off of their back, but it was never set up for the people that look like us to benefit off that wealth.
Yeah.
And the victors or the people might change, but the system is still there. I mean, we can't get nothing. Kurzno made some $2 billion profit when the land is opened up within 1 year.
Yes, he did.
So what, from what I heard, some $2 billion when they were scrapping to come here when they had no money. And we had this behemoths. We can't. And now you're telling me foreigners going and taking these abandoned homes out west that people laugh and or saying whatever the case may be. And we behemoths, if that was us behemoths go there, they will call the armed forces, the Marines and defense force to come with guns and police and drives. They'll call us thieves and thieves and no goodness. And man, listen, we got one more chance to get this right. We got one more chance. If behemoths people don't wake up, start partying and worrying about rum and t-shirt and all this $50. We done for.
You want me? My brother, you want me to show you a secret? You know the house that they bought right next to Goodman's Bay that they was going to say that was going to be the house of the prime minister in this country. You know about that?
Yeah, that big house, the big upstairs about the house.
Yes. You realize that they never could have made it the house of the prime minister. Like it never went anywhere. You know why? Because it's actually owned by a black family in this country, and they just took it from them. They don't have no papers for it. The black family have it. Yes, but they are there, but they didn't have any money to do anything with it.
They might as well just sell it.
You see? And so, yes, they should have just sold it. But they didn't have any money to do anything with it. And so when the powers that be saw, okay, these people must be poor, they don't have nothing to do with it, they can't take us to court. Let's just go take this.
This can't be a real place we live in.
All those scandals that we showed with NIB buying properties and buying abandoned houses, etc., this go deep. We haven't even revealed the deepness of this.
Well, it's like in this country, man, I telling you, it's for these people, it's like they put us like corn in the middle of your grind corn. It's like they want to grind us like corn and just that we disintegrate to nothing. With this, the writings on the wall, if we got one more chance.
Listen to me, man. I want you to hear this one too. I want, before you hang up, I want you to hear this one too. I want you to hear it good. There was a woman who was a scam artist in another country. She came to the Bahamas and she heard about the abandoned property. She bought a property and turned it into a whole hotel. And she had no papers for it. No papers. None. And she must have sold the property about 3 times and then break off running. And the people she sell it to can't get no papers for it. But no one questioned her because she was white.
You got it. As I tell you.
You see? And and these are properties on the water in Nassau that Bahamians can't even afford anymore. You see? There's some things going on in this country that will blow your minds. We gotta wake up and we gotta do something.
But then again, you gotta reveal these things, man. Don't care how if it's too much for the people to swallow, you gotta let them know. So when these things come to head, they can't say that they was never been told. Because people like, oh, well, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Well, it's coming to head because, my brother, as I said, we are taking back everything the enemy stole from us.
Amen.
We are taking it back.
And what makes me so hurt is our very own black-based politicians doing it to us.
Yes.
And allowing it to happen. And calling armed guards on us in military.
They are participating with it. They are participating. They're working together. I don't want you to think for 1 second that they're against each other. They are working together.
Yes.
I gotta take this other call. Thank you for calling, man. All right. Good afternoon, you're live. I am good. How you doing? Wow. Okay, we will. Thank you for your call. All right. Good afternoon, you're live. Oh, we missed that one. Someone was calling from a 392 number. You can call back. There's so much happening in this country. When I listen, they got. I'm gonna go to the last topic I was supposed to go about. I almost skipped this. This is the last one I'm gonna deal with. All right. FTX. Remember, he came here and made the big mistake. Never shake a PLP leader's hand. We have some basketball players who learned that. We have some track and field athletes who learned that because somehow it's like you get cursed. But FTX came here from China. They came running from China, Hong Kong, wherever they were. And they came to the Bahamas. And they opened up. They gave out some charity. They gave out some little stuff. They got some land to put their FTX business on. And now FTX is being sold. FTX is being sold. If you were paying attention, you could have seen it coming if you're interested in these kind of stuff. But FTX is now on the market being sold. FTX the little, the rich young man that they were shaking hands with, and they were saying that, oh, this is the second biggest, whatever, whatever. It's gone. It was bought up by Binance, which is the biggest cryptocurrency platform. It was bought up by Binance, and so FTX is gone. Is now bought up. Now the contract is non-binding because it's a letter of intent, and they're going to do due diligence and then finalize it. But I think that the due diligence is just to give Binance the opportunity to dig into all of their finances and then expose them, so they're going to be crushed. So then the competition will be gone. So they may not close the deal. They may, and then they may not. The problem started to happen when people started to realize that something leaked, and they realized that their token was valued at $6 billion, but their market capital was only $3 billion, which means that something was wrong. And it's something that all these people from around the world, when they want to do something, they come to the Bahamas to do it, because we have no real regulations. And we have corrupt leaders who's going to allow anyone to come in and just do whatever they want. So now what happens to the land? What happens to the building? They didn't even finish the building. They did a groundbreaking, but I don't think they built the building. So what's going to happen to it? But in any event, of course, I have one of those accounts, and everyone just saw that they had some serious liquidity problems, and they were trying to raise $10 to $20 billion in liquidity quickly, because they had serious liquidity problem. They're trying to raise some money to survive, but no one gave it to them. And then when they started having liquidity problems, because everyone started withdrawing when they saw something was wrong, Binance said, hey, we'll buy you. Because they froze, you weren't able to withdraw from your account anymore. And so if you were smart, if you saw what happened, you would have cashed out. So all of the smart people who pay attention to the markets and know what's going on, they cashed out. So I cashed out. Now Bitcoin has gone down 10%. 10%. So update available. Not now, don't bother me. And so the smart folks cashed out. But everything is crashed and it's gone. It seems like everything these PLPs are touching is starting to crash. Stay tuned. It's gone. But I just wanted to touch on that, but I want to get back to what we talked about. Bahamas, if y'all ain't serious, everybody on the ocean in this country didn't buy where they are. There's serious scandals brewing. There are people who do bad things in the country where they're from, and they run to the Bahamas to hide. You see it in movies. That's real. And then they come and they pay off politicians and that kind of stuff, and that's how the politicians make their money. And they suck up to them, and they make their money, and they let them get away with whatever they want to get away with. Wake up, Bahamas, or you're going to lose everything. And so I've done my hour. I've done an hour for the night. I got to go prepare. I know many of you out there preparing. Everything's going to be closed tomorrow, so I hope you bought some canned soup and some spaghetti, etc., to ride out the storm. To all of my people in Pinewood Gardens, the storm has a lot of rain. You know the suffering that they've put us through. Make sure you prepare. Make sure you have your sandbags. Make sure you prepare. Don't take it for granted. We're just going to have some rain. We're not going to have the real effects, but who knows what could happen in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day. It can turn anywhere. Just prepare. I stand with you in the meantime. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign out early tonight and remind you our country is under attack. The illegal immigrants are taking everything that belongs to us. The legal immigrants are taking everything that belongs to us, but we're going to take it back. Y'all got to stand up. Your country needs you. If you have been awakened in the middle of the night and your house is on fire, it is your duty to wake up everyone else in the house. I don't care how much you got to scream, push them, shake them, do whatever you got to do, wake them up. Don't just sit down and say they so stupid because they sleeping or they went to bed late. You don't have to attack them in that way. Wake them up. They are asleep. You have friends and neighbors who are still caught up on this PLP nonsense. They are asleep. Wake them up so that we can save our nation. Please commit to waking somebody up every day. Wake them up, or all of us are going to die. This country is going to be gone. I watch people trying to buy hurricane supplies today in super value, and people can't even fill a trolley. They can't. If you fill a trolley, you're going to pay $300-$400 or more. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. Again, we're going to share some videos with you that we hope is going to wake you up. See you next time.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history. Who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries, great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's...
I'm sorry, I had to rejoin this live because I saw a comment by someone saying the Haitians have taken over the shelters in Abaco, and they want me to address it. Whoever that is, our number is 8035995. Go there and take a video. Show it. Get that video to me. Take a video and send that video to me on WhatsApp and see if I don't deal with it. Go there and you show them taking it over. You have to participate in the salvation of this nation. I can't jump on a plane all the way from Nassau. Go there. Be bold, man, or we can lose our country. Be bold, Bahamians. Be bold, Abaconians, or we can lose. The only thing we got. Be bold. Go there. Get the video. Let's make sure our Bahamians are put in there first. If the government is allowing them to flood our shelters and Bahamians are on the outside, that's a problem. Go get that video and send that back to me. Thank you all so much. Again, see you next time.
Look at your health care. Look at your road system. Look at your highway system. Look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.
You know, a lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two, he needs only number one. He says, I don't know, there's no number two in my book. Only number one.
I hear he doesn't ride in a convoy.